What's up, guys? It's Eventon here, and this is a continuation of my Hypernet series. It is taking a bit longer for some of the videos because, again, Hypernet, sometimes it just takes time for orders to fulfill, especially when I'm running this experiment where I put up actually a handful of orders, buying half my tickets, and actually quite a few orders not buying half my tickets. And I ended up putting up quite a few popular ships that I had absolutely no trouble selling in the past when I bought half my tickets, but they seemed to struggle quite a bit when I didn't. So as you can see here, I actually have some Dremels, some Curers, Confessor, some other things. So a lot of these ships actually came back in my inventory because these items just simply did not sell. So as you can see here, it says Hypernet expired. I actually had quite a few orders straight up expire just because people didn't buy half the tickets. So if I click here and look at the information, someone bought 2 tickets. Another person bought no tickets. So at the end of the day, and that's another thing I'm trying to do is make my videos shorter but not longer. I think I'm starting to kind of get the concept of less is more and just get you guys just kind of the general information across. So funny thing is, while I was waiting the 3 days for some of these Dremels to, I guess, sell when I didn't buy any of my tickets, so as you can see, the price point on this is 5.43. I guess Hypernet puts it at 5.44 million. I was actually putting up other Dremels at the same time that were actually priced higher than the ones that didn't buy half the tickets. Let's see if we win this. We did not, but that's okay. But someone bought half the tickets. So it's just so funny that an overpriced item, if you buy half the tickets, has a better chance of selling than a cheaper item of the exact same item that is underpriced. And I think that's where a lot of people get the misconception that oh, these people are just trying to get their item back. Yeah, it's nice to get your item back and basically be able to put it up on the market again and all that stuff. But honestly, it just does not work. If you don't buy half your tickets, there's just a very, very high likelihood the item just won't sell. And as you can see here, if I put up the Curer, I think that's how you pronounce it, there is a 10% tax that you pay for the ISK and another 10% tax in Hypernet cores. And that does cut into the profit margin a bit. My previous video, I said that you had to win only 1 out of 5 or something like that, but that's an extremely exaggerated example. It's mostly closer to, as long as you win 40 to 45% of the time, you will be making profit. So the example I showed in the last video was kind of an exaggerated example of it, and I removed the tax. So people were asking hey, what about the tax? It's still profitable, as long as you win 40% of the time in a 50-50 game. So that's why I highly suggest you guys in the long run put up more items that are worth around the same amount of ISK, which is why I'm putting up things like Confessors, Dremels, Curers, Svipples, Succubuses. So a lot of these ships are usually anywhere between I'd say 50 to 80 million ISK, and I think that's a pretty good I'd say 50 to 90 million ISK, and that's a pretty good range. Anything above or below that, you start, the profits start getting a little bit iffy. If you did 50 of these items, then all of a sudden you start putting up 2 rattlesnakes and you lose both rattlesnakes. Now your profit margins get really eaten into. So yeah, I mainly wanted to make this video just because I've never done this before. I've always bought half my tickets all the time and never had an issue selling items, but it seems like the one time, and I'm trying to find another example, another Dremel before. This isn't the one that just happened. That guy bought half the tickets. So this guy bought 6, this other person bought 2. So this just goes to show that it's not so much people just want to win their items back. It's there's just no guarantee that the item will sell. And for whatever reason, the consumer trends of the Hypernet relay just shows that people are just infinitely more likely to actually bid on your item if half the tickets are already gone, because people want to buy the tickets, get their items sooner rather than later. They don't want to wait around anywhere between 1 to 3 days to see if they're going to get their item back and all that stuff. People are impatient, which is why some people obscurely, like we saw with that last one, this guy, not this one, the most recent loss that I had, this one, the guy bought half the tickets. Who knows why he spent basically 75% of the value of the ship or 80% of the value of the ship for a 50% chance. Who knows? But again, these are just the trends that people are doing on Hypernet. I don't think any of it is wrong or bad, but that's just how the market is just playing out right now. So this is just kind of my message to you guys. If you guys are going to be playing the Hypernet, in my personal opinion, in my experience, just always buy half your tickets. You're more likely to sell the item. And I think, according to my math, as long as you basically it's roughly equivalent. So as long as you win one, and then if you lose that same item a bit later, it's roughly equivalent to being able to sell it without buying half your tickets. It's something like that. I haven't really crunched the numbers that closely. All I know is that, hey, if you buy half your tickets and you put up a lot of items over the course of just an extended period of time, it will be profitable. So yeah, this is the main reason why people buy half their tickets. I put up some dram meals, put up some cures, I put up some I would say these are the two main items I put up, just because for a little while there was actually no market for dram meals. Like there was actually none up on the market. Same thing with cures. So I'm like, this is a perfect time to do it. I even did it, I think a couple of the dram meals sold, even though I think a couple of them sold, even though I didn't buy any half the tickets. So this one I didn't buy any of the tickets, so people bought it out eventually. But I can almost guarantee you, when I put up those 6 or 7 dram meals, if I bought half the tickets, all these would have sold within a day or two. I've never had to wait longer than 2 days to basically have these types of ships sell on the Hypernet. So, all right, I think I've talked enough and kind of beaten this topic to death at this point. So I'm going to try probably a few more videos here in the near future. I'm going to just show some examples of me obviously buying half my tickets and kind of like the profit margins with that. But then again, that I might try some other things where maybe I put up some more expensive ships. Like maybe I put up like 10 rattlesnakes, or maybe I'll put up 10 or 20 some more high end or like pirate faction battleships, things like that, just so you guys can kind of see the profit margin when you kind of now multiply some of these numbers that I'm recommending by like 10 or 100. So, and then we'll go from there. So cool. That's pretty much it, guys. Hope you take care and you fly safe.